regulations that are sweeping across financial markets around the world are really driving a lot of change throughout financial services companies. There's a lot to talk about. Today we're going to focus on one area, that's the area of messaging and handling messages and that sort of thing. My guest to discuss this with me is Ganesh Srinivasan, who's the Director of Financial Services Solutions at Volante Technologies. Ganesh, thanks for coming by and having a chat with us today. First of all, I wondered if you could tell us a little bit about Volante Technologies and what you guys are doing and where you fit into the ecosystem.
Thanks, Greg. Thanks for having me here. Volante is a 10-year-old company. We are into 11th year of operations today, and our focus is on data integration and message integration for financial services firms.
Okay.
Where we add value is we give an entire integration platform which speeds up the whole process of handling message integration. Also, we provide the regular updates to any changes that happens with the standard messages.
Okay, so you're the right person to talk to then about this issue of messaging and kind of what regulators are demanding more and more of. And I wondered, since where you guys sit in the ecosystem, when you're talking with clients, what are you hearing as their main challenge, their main stress points around this area of messaging and message management?
One is, of course, the new market structure which is evolving, which is throwing a lot of challenges, mainly because there are so many entities coming into the picture, right from regulatory reporting to the new central counterparty clearing, the new SEFs which are going to come. So the entire way in which firms communicate with each other and with each of these industry utilities, the whole scenario is changing in the derivative space.
Right.
So this has been a very kind of a stressful situation right now, I can see, with most of our customers.
Right.
They are all grappling with dealing with this kind of multitude of things, and also the uncertainty of what is going to go in a message. That itself is not clear for most of the firms yet.
So not only a new set of entities or counterparties, if you will, not to use the words technically, but that they have to deal with, but also what is going to be required in those messages, because certainly a lot of the rules have yet to be written, and they're in that process. So given the situation where we're at, Ganesh, what's the best way forward for these firms, or what can they do to prepare for this sort of new world?
Right. There are few firms which have taken ahead in this. They have created their own enterprise messaging hubs where they want to segregate the whole messaging from their downstream application.
Okay.
So they can keep the already developed applications away from whatever the changes that are coming in, so they can handle it in a different way.
I see.
So, and that is where we also fit in very well. So we are also encouraging our customers to look at messaging as a discipline within an organization where they can decouple their operational solutions from the message area.
Okay. Now, this is a completely new structure. So is it tough for your clients and people you're talking with to kind of get their heads around this idea of kind of having that separate? Because I can see how if it is separate, then you can manage it more easily. But for those firms who have been doing things one way for so many years, is it
absolutely? You can still see Wall Street firms using a lot of Excel sheets.
Yeah, right.
Particularly in the derivative area, a lot of data resides still in Excel sheets, and a lot of siloed systems. And with the new regime, the asset classes have no meaning now. So earlier, each asset class had its own kind of setup, own kind of silo, and they were all operating within that.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to reporting, it has become completely across all asset classes. Now, you cannot have multiple solutions residing in your organization for multiple asset classes.
Yeah.
And this is another big challenge, why they should move away from having a tied down solution with message integration, rather than decouple it, have a flexible architecture where you can handle changes very quickly.
Okay, and having it decoupled like that allows them to have that sort of a cross asset class?
Yes. Absolutely, because see now with a solution like ours, which a platform like ours, which allows them to connect to any kind of backend system, that allows them a separate area where they can handle all these challenges of consolidating data from various sources, various systems, and then get it out to various channels.
I see.
And again, you know about the global regulatory changes which are coming, and it's not just US mandating something. So there is Europe, there is Canada, there is Hong Kong, there is Japan. I'm hearing that the Japanese regulatory reporting may be ahead of US. So people have to be prepared for that. And when you are having this kind of various regulatory agencies, various counterparties, various clearing agencies, it's becoming very, very tough for people to manage the level of messages that go in and come out of their systems.
Right. You mentioned you're hearing that Japan is maybe ahead of the U.S. in terms of development. I'm wondering, from your, what you're hearing from your clients, because different regulators around the world are at different points in the development, and even in, say, if we took the U.S. and Dodd-Frank, rules are being written. There's still a lot of uncertainty, which of course is the everyone's bugaboo. What's the sense you're getting from clients and others you're talking to, Ganesh? I mean, are people like just holding back? This sounds like a great way to move forward, but we don't want to go there yet because we don't know what the final regulations are going to be? Or are they saying, well, we've got to get there, there'll be something we know enough that we can move forward?
Absolutely. There's a lot of wait and watch right now. We could sense that because the way in which people have been rushing to develop a solution and suddenly holding it back, they want clarity. And again, IT folks, they don't want any uncertainty. Because requirements is the key for them. Unless and until they have clear requirements, they don't want to proceed to develop something. So we could see that. And again, that is the kind of flexibility we offer. You can build incrementally, or you can change anything as things evolve. So that is where we are looking at. If you segregate your message integration from your application development, and definitely that is achievable. But again, as we see a lot of people waiting and watching, there's going to be a lot of activity in the coming months in this area.
Okay, very good. Well, I think we'll end our discussion there. We've been talking with Ganesh Srinivasan, who's the Director of Financial Services Solutions at Volante Technologies, about this oncoming wave of requirements around messaging and how firms like Volante are working to provide solutions that will help firms manage this new raft of information and data integration that they're going to be faced with. Ganesh, thanks for coming to Tab Forum and talking with us today.
Thank you, Greg.
And thank you for watching.